Hola, amigos! Brad the Big Noise Evans here on a solo mission. Letty's going to be back with me on the Thursday edition of the Fade 5 podcast, but you need to recuperate some of the money that you lost this weekend on the week one capper between the San Francisco 49ers and New York Jets. Battle by the Bay there. I'm going to break everything down here in this episode, rapid fire edition. So let's waste any time at all. I got tickets in hand already for the Plus Buzz honk honk plus 100 odds or greater wager that I have in this matchup. And it's dance hall days. Give me Brees Hall to have more rush yards than the CMC football factor. Yeah, I'm going to fade Christian McCaffery here. And the reason being is simple. He's got a nettlesome soft tissue issue. He's missed extended time nursing that calf injury, and we don't know exactly how healthy he is going to be. Is he at 75%? Is he at 85%? Is he indeed at 100%? Anybody's best guess. Those things can flare up in game. One misstep, and it could be sayonara, see you later, exit stage left there on the sideline. So give me Brees Hall facing a San Francisco front line that finished outside the top 25, believe it or not, in EPA per play defense on the ground a season ago. Brees Hall was an absolute beast with a ball in his hand a season ago. A guy that was number 10 in yards created per touch, number 7 in yards after contact per attempt with 3.14, and also number 12 and total missed tackles force on a rancid, repugnant New York Jets team. He's got a top 5 offensive line, and with Aaron Rodgers there to lighten the loads up front, I think Brees Hall could absolutely beast in the opener. So give me him, honk, honk, on that plus bus. I have more rush yards than McCaffrey, a plus 135 juice. Yeah, get seduced by that juice there at BetMGM. With that, bet on the board. Let's get after it with another edition of the Fade 5. All right, numero cinco on the countdown today. I'm playing it extra cautious on Brandon Aiyuk. Aiyuk! Look, I don't think he's going to shoot fireballs from the hands, and I'm going to play and land down under here on 3.5 catches for him at a plus 130 juice there at BetMGM. He is going to be on some sort of snap count, maybe a limited workload for him overall. To what extent, we really don't know. Is he going to play? Maybe some of the what Jamar Chase played on Sunday, but Chase still had a decent fantasy day with 6 receptions. But I don't know if Aiyuk is going to play 60, 70, 80% of the snaps, and the matchup is daunting as well. Going to see a whole lot of DJ Reed, more likely than not in coverage, who's allowed last season just 61.4% catch rate, 11 yards per reception, and 85.1 passer rating to his assignments. He was top 25 in overall coverage grade at Pro Football Focus. Again, Adam Schefter said that Brandon Aiyuk is going to play some limited snaps on Monday. He went under this number in 8 of 19 games, so it wasn't really a rarity. Average a healthy 6.6 targets per game, but a modest number 34 in catchable target rate last fall. So pull it all together. Brandon Aiyuk, hopefully I'm going to make some bank on the under 3.5 receptions at a plus 130 juice. Numero cuatro, mi amigos, here on the Fade 5 Monday edition of the Countdown. Brees Hall. All right, you already heard me at the top of the show. I think he's going to be able to outrush Christian McCaffery in this game, and I think touchdowns will be a rarity in this game, but if somebody's going to splash 6, I think Brees Hall's got an excellent shot at doing it. So another plus money wager there on the board at a plus 110. And I grabbed this at DraftKings Sportsbook. Again, San Francisco, specifically number 26 EPA rush D last year. Now, my buddy Mike Clay at ESPN's kind of projected to have the 12th best interior line on D entering the regular season, the second best linebacker core. So they can make leaps and bounds of improvement in EPA rush D compared to last year. But again, the New York Jets have got a formidable front line, one of the best in the NFL. They are a bunch of man movers. And I think they're going to be able to open up some holes for Brees Hall. And if Aaron Rodgers can, move the ball down the field, feeding it to Garrett Wilson and some of his other targets, Mike Williams, maybe Tyler Conklin, Brees Hall inside the 5-yard line, he will get some opportunities. He is going to get ball to belly and try to puncture one in for 6. So anytime touchdown at a plus 110 juice, I'm in, baby, at DraftKings Sportsbook. Numero tres on this speedy edition of the Fade 5 podcast. Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to take the over on 236.5 pass yards at a minus 115 juice here at BetMGM. Honestly, this is a very well set line, but my buddies at Betalytics, and shout out to Rachel Dory, their projection is bullish on Rodgers in this matchup. They got him forecasted for 252.6 yards in this game. That is an extraordinary value in my estimation compared to what you see that soft line at 236.5. It's a massive edge, and I'm going to take advantage of it. San Francisco, a pretty good secondary on paper, according to Mike Clay, the 12th best overall cornerback unit in the entirety of the National Football League. Middle of the pack, though, in terms of the safety help, he's got him ranked at number 18 there. Last season, right around this number is what they allowed. Yards per game to the quarterback position, that was 232.3. But Rodgers, a lot of pent-up frustration. He's going to be motivated. He's in familiar territory there by the Bay, of course, the guy that graduated from Cal and grew up in that area. So put it all together, I think Rodgers will come close what Betalytics is saying around that 250-yard mark. So give me the over. Aaron Rodgers, 236.5 pass yards at a minus 115 juice there at BetMGM. Hey, speaking of the juice, go to the gamingjuice.com right now. Every single week, we are cranking out a boatload of free content to hopefully put some money in your pocket or get you that critical fantasy football victory. You got ranks. My fantasy flames are living there. Ben Wittenstein and Nate Jacobson are cranking out kinds of college football betting content. I've got betting content, including more action on Monday Night Football. I have additional action on the Thursday Night Football game and the upcoming main slate. Go there. It's absolutely free. You have no stinking excuse. Click, converse, and cash. ... Maybe at thegamingjuice.com. Numero dos here on the Feed 5 Monday Night Football edition of the Countdown. Oh, I'm in the Moody, baby, for a pair of boots through the uprights. Give me Jake Moody over 1.5 field goals made at a minus 105 juice there at BetMGM. This game could be a war of attrition. You got it over under in the low 40s, and it may not escape the 30s, given the defensive prowess on both sides of the ball. And that could set up nicely for some bogged down drive opportunities and Moody to trot in and kick a long field goal, 2 or 3, and all we need is 2 through those uprights. You look at what the New York Jets allowed last season, 11 of 17 games. They allowed at least a pair of field goals. Moody hit the over on this only 6 times in 17 games. Really blame Christian McCaffery and his remarkable efficiency on the ground. A lot of red zone conversions for this franchise, but Moody still hit 21 of 25 field goal opportunities. That's 84%. That was a hell of a lot better than my calc score back in the day in college. So put it all together. Jake Moody over and over again. My number 2 play of the day on the 1.5 field goals made, minus 105 at BetMGM. Numero uno here on the Feed 5 Countdown. Jets, Niners. This is a dice roll, and I might be playing with fire, and I very much could get burned. Thankfully, I don't have any hair, but I am going to live in the land down under on the CMC Fade Factory, and that is Christian McCaffery on the under 75.5 rush yards at a minus 115 juice there at BetMGM. Again, I just can't get the idea of him having that calf flare up in game out of my head. Could be some limitations with the workload, given the conditioning at play here as well. How many carries is he really going to get? The over on rush attempts, over under on that is 16 and a half. I would actually live and land down under on that as well. Wrote about that on thegamingjuice.com. I realized last year was an all-world season, an extremely memorable campaign for McCaffery. He went over this prop in 13 of 19 games, including the playoffs. He was number 6 in yards after contact per attempt at 3.42. He was number 2, numero dos, in total missed tackles forced with 60, according to Pro Football Focus. He was number 13 as well in yards created per touch. Again, the advanced analytics were outstanding across the board. The Jets, if they have some question marks defensively, it's on that interior line, but the linebacker unit, I think, is going to be able to plug the gaps and definitely key on McCaffrey and he gets the ball in his hands. This could be more of a Christian McCaffery, the receiver type of game, not him having a banner output on the ground. And that's why, I think the under is going to play here. Now, Betalytics disagrees with me. My friends there have him projected for 76 yards in this game, and the opportunity share we'd expect to be somewhat massive, but I think Jordan Mason's going to supplant him on a series of 3. So put all together, knowing the calf downsides, knowing the matchup is a tough one, and as well that Mason could come in and supplant him at times under. You want to talk about a dice roll? Christian McCaffrey, 75.5 rush yards. My number 1 play on Monday Night Football at a minus 115 juice there at BetMGM. All right, friends, it's Buddist time. Buddist time. I only have one play for you, and it's the hashtag Team Huevos Parlay Play of the day in Monday Night Football. Leg numero uno in the SGP. Give me the under on the all total of 50.5 points. Again, it could be a battle of field goal kickers, maybe 9-6 written all over it. Hopefully, if we do get a touchdown, it's going to be from the legs of Breece Hall, so we can cash in on that, but that might be the lone score of the game. Give me leg numero dos, Tyler Conklin, hopefully making some cash with 3 or more receptions. And leg numero tres, give me Breece Hall. Again, more dance hall days, 2 or more catches. So the game under 50.5 on the all total. Conklin, 3 or more receptions. Hall, 2 or more receptions. A cool plus 130 there at BetMGM. Just a little bit of background. I think Conklin, who averaged over 10 yards per reception last season, is going to have maybe a breakout season. Rodgers has always had a tendency to feature his tight ends, going his days back in Green Bay, with the likes of Jimmy Graham for a hot minute that was kind of late in his career, Jermichael Finley, a number of other guys that were involved with him in the offense. So I think Conklin's going to, have a sizable role straight away. A lot of attention, of course, rotating over to Garrett Wilson could free him up between the hash marks for some of those, 5-10 yard dump down type of passes, chew up some real estate early and often. All I need is 3 grabs and he cashes in. Last year, number 30 in catchable target rate because Zach Wilson stinks. Then meanwhile, with Breece Hall, 2 or more catches. He was a guy that averaged 20 routes run per game last year, had over 70 receptions, and 2, guy that averaged 4.5 catches per contest. Most importantly, look at the matchup. The area where the Niners really struggled was in short field coverage last year. Now, they could rectify that issue, but they did give up 90 catches to the running back position alone. All I need is a couple of dump offs, aggressive pass rush. Rodgers a read, check 1, check 2, covered. Oh, there's Hall. Dumps it down that once, but twice in the game, and we cash on that leg. So to recap, the Team Huevos Parlay Play of Monday Night Football. SGP, of course, game under on the all total, 50.5. Tyler Conklin, 3 or more catches. Breece Hall, 2 or more catches. All 3 legs hit, plus 130 there at BetMGM. All right, I told you it was going to be a rapid-fire edition of the Fade 5 podcast, but you have my card for Monday Night Football. Do me a favor, and Lundy as well. Drop us a rating and a review at your convenience. Also, feed or follow us on the X. We're always trying to give it to you. Lundy at Nate Lundy and myself at Noisy Huevos will be back on Thursday and also on Friday as well. So that's going to be our schedule all season long. Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays here for the Feed 5 podcast. Hopefully going to stuff some of those dead presidents in your pocket. In the meantime, make sure you check out thegamingjuice.com. Until next time, as always, feed or follow. That is up to you.